Happy Sunday, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to those who are new. I am Trinise L. Jackson. If you have yet to subscribe to my channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the post notification bell so that you guys will know when I upload new content. If you like what you hear, hit the thumbs up. If you don't, you know I always say to remain true to yourself. If you do not remain true to yourself, no one else will. With the exception of a few people who are good out there that will still be good to you when you're not good to yourself. But we always have to be true to ourselves. So today I am going to be talking about the dangers of the comfort zone. Your comfort zone, my comfort zone, their comfort zones. We've all been in a place where we were living in what we thought was comfortability. It may feel comfortable to you, but it's actually a dangerous place. And I'm going to explain to you why. When you think about the word comfort, you think about coziness, a safe haven, a place where it's just where you want to be. But the reality is that the comfort zone causes us to miss out on mega blessings. And I'm going to get into that in a little while. So, I want to take us all the way back to childhood, when we were children. There are parents out there. There are some amazing, amazing parents out there. Kudos to you all. But there are parents who have the habit of speaking condemnation into the lives of their child, and they don't even realize the power that words hold. There are parents who, when their children are small, call them all sorts of names: stupid, dumb, idiot, retarded. You know, a child is struggling in school, may not be able to get their multiplications right, always having trouble with this, having trouble with that. And rather than the parent get the extra help the child needs or help them themselves, if they can't help them, seek out help for that child, they will begin to berate and belittle that child by saying, "You're so stupid. How do you not know this?" And then it may even go as far as saying, "You know what? I can't even ask your stupid brother because he doesn't know." Those words penetrate and they take on life. How do I know this? Because the Bible tells us that in the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word was God. God is the true living God. So your words take on power. So we have to be very, very careful in how we speak to our children. Now, some of you all may be saying, now, what does this have to do with comfort zones and children? Because aren't children supposed to feel comfortable? Aren't we supposed to make the confines of their homes safe and comfortable? Isn't there supposed to be a level of comfortability for our children? Absolutely 100% yes. I couldn't agree with you more. But I am not talking about the confines of the home and making a child feel safe at home. Those things are important, yes, but that's not what I'm dealing with right now. I'm dealing with speaking into the psyche of a child, because whatever you speak into that child's life takes on life. So we have to be very careful. Now, I spoke a little bit about this on Instagram. I talked about how generational curses are formed. And some people might have been like, well, what is this? Where is she going with this? Everything that I bring out in this video is going to connect and correlate, right? So, a lot of the times when you have parents who speak harshly to their children, it's usually because they were spoken harshly to, and it's all they know. The mind has been conditioned a certain way, to speak a certain way, to live a certain way, to be a certain way. And it begins to be passed on from generation to generation to generation to generation. And this is how generational curses are formed. It's about the mindset, because the mindset has not been changed, it has not been renewed. it's used to being a certain way. This is how comfort zones are formed. I know I'm going to bring it together. You're probably like, oh my God, where's this girl going? I usually can follow along with her messages, but I'm just not following along with her. I promise I'll get you there. I will. The reason I have to speak about the childhood is because we need to figure out, well, before I even say that, we were all once children and now we're adults. So we are adults living in our comfort zone, our comfortability, our safe haven. So we need to figure out, well, how do we get there? How do a person get to a comfort zone? We have to go back to the core of the issue. We have to go back to the root of the problem. We cannot tackle a problem from the head up. We have to start from the core. We have to find out, where did this problem start? How did it get started? Where did it generate from? Generational curses. Because of the mindset. The mindset is all about the mindset. This is why they say that the mind is powerful. Anything you put your mind to, you can do it. It's about the mindset. It's the way we think. When I talk about the mindset, I'm simply talking about our thoughts. Our patterns of thoughts create a way of thinking, and it creates your mindset. So if you grew up in a household when your parents, all they talked about was what you couldn't do, never talked about what you can do, speak life. That's what I'm telling you, to speak life, so that that life can take on life and follow them through life. So I have to go back to childhood. It's like when you have a toothache or you have some dental issues, you go to the dentist and you tell the dentist, doctor, my tooth is hurting. And the doctor said, well, which tooth is it? And I'm like, I don't know. It's like the third from the wisdom tooth. I don't know what tooth is that. And the dentist is not a smart dentist. Is not going to say, okay, well, 1, 2, 3, this tooth, I'm going to yank it and pull it out. No, what the dentist is going to do, he's going to send you for some x-rays to figure out where the root of the problem is. I need to send you for x-rays so I can figure out what's causing this tooth to ache. So I have to take you to the root of the problem so that we can work our way up to solving it, right? I remember, I often talk about my son, Brandon. I often talk about him. And I don't ever want you all to think, oh, she favors the youngest one because he has these gifts. He's talented. He's intelligent. It's not that. Brandon is a different child. I'm just going to keep it real with you. He's a different child. We all have children, but they all have their own special gifts. I remember Brandon was about 6 years old, between 5 and 6. He was 5 and 6, and I asked him a question. I said, Brandon, what do you want to be when you grow up? And he was like, oh, I want to be like a graphic designer, something along those lines. I want to create video games. I want to do this. And I was like, what? I was a little bit disappointed. I'm like, you're so smart. Don't you want to be a scientist? Because he loves science. Don't you want to be a scientist? You can be a doctor. You could be a judge. You could be this. You could be that. And he said to me, no, I want to be a CFO of my own company. I want to make money like Steve Jobs. He was only about 5 or 6 years old. He was like, do you know what a CFO is? And I was like, I sure do. And he was like, I want to make money. He was like, I don't want to go to school and then have to go to school again for so many years to be a judge or to be a doctor. It was because I spoke life into him. Now, some of you all might be saying, well, what is her son now? Is he in college? Like, what is he doing with his life? That's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother subject. That's a whole nother issue. Because one thing we have to learn, there are parents. Now, I'm talking about parents who speak harshly into their children's lives. There are parents who speak nothing but positive affirmations into the lives of their children. But when their children get a certain age, or their child gets to a certain age, they take their own path in life. So sometimes we do the best that we can as parents, but at a certain point, you cannot make life decisions for your grown adult children. Even if they're 18, 19 years old, they still need your guidance. But at the end of the day, they have to learn to make their own life decisions, because why? I'm not going to be here forever. I'm not going to be here forever. So let me get back to my message. I know I'm kind of going off course. So we get to a point where we are grown adults. We are grown adults. We are living in the world. We are doing what we have to do to make life comfortable for us. And, you know, I talked about this before, that I don't like to talk about messages and things that I have not experienced. I could talk about this because about 6, 7, 8 months ago, I was living in comfort zone, comfortably living in my comfort zone, just living a mundane life, just going to work. Well, at this point, we are in quarantine, or we are in home, working from home because of COVID. Living my life, making sure my bills are paid, long as my rent is paid, long as I can pay my cable bill, my internet. I need my internet because why? I work from home. If I don't have internet, I can't work from home, which means I won't be able to pay my bills. I won't be able to pay my rent. So many of us are living at a level of mediocrity because we have the mindset that as long as I can get by, that's all that counts. That was me. That was me. Now, you may have some naysayers, some negative Nancy's, and some people that know me, that personally know me, that might say, well, what does she have now that she didn't have 6 months ago? What does she have now that she didn't have 8 months ago? What is she doing so different with her life that she can come and speak this word into our lives? Do I see a new car outside? I don't see a new car outside. Is she still paying rent, or is she paying a mortgage? Listen, I'm a work in progress, but guess what? I'm progressing. And God is opening doors in the spiritual realm. I promise you, I'm not bragging at all. I promise you, I'm not bragging. I can never brag about anything in my life but God, the things that he's doing in my life. So no, I don't have a home of my own just yet, but know that I am working. I am living and walking in my purpose. I know that there are mega blessings that God has stored up for me as long as I keep putting in the work. It's about putting in the work. God will bless you, but you also have to put in the work. So many of us speak positive affirmations day after day after day, but yet we don't put in the work. We got to learn that we have to put in the work because nothing is handed to you. Granted, God does perform miracles. Granted, people do give you things. But the things that you really, really want for your life, you have to go after it. God will assist you in your journey, but you have to want it for yourself. So this is the reason I could talk about this, because there was a point in my life when I was just living to be, I was just existing. I was just existing, long as my rent is paid, Lord. You're not making some decent money. Now, Corey Porter's, we don't slack. We can slack if we slack. But it's a lucrative field, but you have to put in the work, right? So one day I was talking to a friend, and I told this story before. I was talking to a friend, and I was complaining about my career. I hate it. I hate it. I hate this job. I hate this job. And he said to me, he was like, no, you don't. And I talked about this before. You guys are probably like, here she go, repeating her stories. But I have to tie it into how and why I could talk about the comfort zone. So I said, I hate this job. He was like, no, you don't. And I was like, yes, I do. He was like, no, you don't. And I was like, yes, I do. And it went on for a little bit, like about 30 seconds. And I finally said, is he not getting this? And in the back of my mind, I was like, is he not, I kind of knew where he was driving at. I knew what he was driving at. But in the forefront of my mind, I was like, he's not getting, all right, so let's not talk about this anymore. And then later on in the conversation, he said to me, are you living up to your fullest potential? And I said, probably not, but I'm okay. I'm comfortable. That was that comfort zone. That was that comfort zone. You cannot live up to your fullest potential in a comfort zone. How do I know this? Because nothing grows in a comfort zone. If you are in a comfort zone, you are living at a level of mediocrity. Now, see, as adults, we live in comfort zones sometimes because we fear of the unknown. We are scared to walk outside of our comfort zone because we don't know what's on the other side. This is why there are people who are still living in neighborhoods where they got to duck when they come out their homes. And I know there's going to be some devil advocates that are going to say, well, the stacks are against them. There's nothing they can do. This is what they can afford. This is why they're still there. I beg to differ. It's about the mindset, because the mindset, if it was renewed, if it was changed, it would tell you, listen, I don't want my children to grow up in this neighborhood. So look, I got to do something to make our quality of life different and better. It's about the mindset. The comfort zone comes as a result of fear. The way that the mind was conditioned, it was not changed. It's about habit, what we've learned all our lives. So if I heard my mama say all my life, as long as I can just pay my rent, as long as that there's food on the table, as long as my lights stay on, that's okay, I'm good. But that's a dangerous way of living. Now, I'm not talking about my mom. My mom has impeccable credit. Yeah, she's good. Trust me, she's good. But I'm just saying, I'm just speaking about what goes on in the minds of people. Even as children, we have some parents who say, as long as you pass, yeah, I want you to get an A, but as long as you pass, as long as you get a 70, as long as you graduate, as long as you get your high school diploma, and they don't put in their mind that you need to go after more. If you want more for life, you have to go after more. It's about the mindset. You have to change the mindset. Now, you might say, now, we adults, how are we going to change our mindsets? Like, we're stuck in our ways. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. I'm here to help you all. I'm here to help you. This is my call, and I am called to help others. So look, this is why it's important that we stay on our path and our journey. I talked about the friend who spoke in life into me. He nurtured and watered that seed. Do you understand the power that he has to speak life into me? Because I know there's a level of anointing and power in my life that God has given me from birth. He's given me this gift from birth. So you have to have a level of power and anointing to wake something up in me. This is why you got to stay on your path and your journey. Not saying that he isn't, but this is why it's important, because there's people out there who I was 7-8 months ago that needed to hear this message. This is why we got to stay on our path, because we're called to help others. But in helping others, we are blessing our own lives. This is how I know God is opening doors in the spiritual realm. I already know it. I see it. I see it. I see it. I receive it. I claim it. I know it's mine. This is why I'm going to stay on my path and my journey. So there are adults. You know, you have some people who want to keep up with the Joneses. They're buying things that's outside of their tax brackets because they want to look good for others, but yet they're struggling behind the scenes, robbing Peter to pay Paul because they went out and bought this luxury car that they really can't afford. And then you have those who are in the tax bracket of the Joneses, but are living beneath their needs and their means. Why? Now that sounds really odd and crazy and weird. Like, why? I'm not telling you to go out and spend all your money, because you got to have something for a rainy day. You have to. But because of fear of the unknown, I'd rather rent, because when I get a house, I'm going to have to pay taxes. I'm going to have, if the boiler goes, I'm going to have to purchase a new boiler. I got to pay a water bill. I got to do this. If somebody falls on my property, I have to pay insurance, this, that, and the other. It's fear. It's fear of the unknown. And you know who brings about fear? It's not God. It's the devil. The devil will keep you in your comfort zone. Now, people say you can't blame everything on the devil. No, I don't. I don't. But it's the mindset. It's the mindset. You have to change the mindset. That's why I'm here. I'm here to help you. Change your mindset. Know that God wants you to live not above your means. Because then there's problems too. Then you're gonna have some problems. But he also don't want you living beneath your needs and your means. When he blesses you for a reason. He blesses you so that you can live a nice life, and so that you can help others obtain that nice life too. Speak life. This is why it's important to speak life into the lives of your children, because your children become adults like me. Now, and I'm not saying that my mom didn't speak life into me. She did. She spoke life into me. This is why I was able to get as far as I was able to get in life. But at a point, like I told you with my child, is at some point you take your own path in life. And that's what we have to understand, that once your children get a certain age, we can speak. There are parents who will take their children out of the hood, go into the suburbs, put them in a good school. They get good education. They get great grades. They go to high school, go to a wonderful high school, make it on an honor roll, or 4 years, go to college, and something happens in college or what have you. You don't hear it very often, but something happens. There was a turn of events. And they drop out of college. Now they live in their home, not doing what they're supposed to. The mind is a terrible thing to waste. Some of us are There are some intelligent people in this world. But because they don't have people to speak life into them, to wake up them dormant seeds, they're going to stay where they are. I remember my best friend, since we were kids from 9 years old. She always said, I'm never leaving Jersey City. I'm never leaving Jersey City. I was always want to say, I will leave in a heartbeat. I want to move to California. I want to go here. I want to go here. I done been all over the globe in my mind. Like, I move here. I move here. I don't care. I'm going wherever I want to go. She always said, Jersey City, I don't care what nobody say. I'm staying. This is where I was born and raised. I ain't going nowhere. She and I was going to Philly in November, and excuse me, y'all. I'm sorry, but this light is very hot, and I have my heat on. I should have turned my heat off before I started my video. But anyway, we were on our way to Philly, and we were talking, and she was like, she's looking to move out of Jersey City. She wants to move like Middlesex, New Jersey. And I said, what? You? Of all people? She was like, yeah, I'm going to move. It's because the mindset has been renewed and changed. You understand what I'm saying? It's about renewing of the mindset. We have to, at some point, stop the generational curses at our doorsteps. There are, and I hate to say this, I'm about to bring my message to a close. I know a whole family of people that do nothing but rob, steal, and kill. Now, of course, I'm not saying no names. But because of the mindset. Because of the mindset, it was passed down from generation to generation to generation to generation, and it's just going, and it's going. You have to get to a point in your life when you get tired. You got to want change. When you want change, you're going to be about change. How do you be about change? By putting in the work. So today, I hope that I can help somebody get out of the comfort zone. The comfort zone is a very dangerous place, you all. And a real quick story, I remember when I was about 8 years old, I lived on Gifford Avenue, and then we ended up moving on Harrison Avenue. And we went to PS 17 school, me and my oldest brother. And we were comfortable because we knew the students, we knew the teachers, my cousins went there. Our friends from the block went to 17, but when we moved, we were out of the district, although we were only a couple of blocks over. And I remember me and my brother like begging my mother, please get us special permission. We did go to 17 school out of the district for about a year, but they found out somehow, you know, sometimes the school asks for proof of address. And they found out we were out of the district and they wouldn't give us special permission. Boy, I cried. I did not want to go to PS 24. Oh my God, I can't. I don't want to go. My cousins are in 17. My best friend Tracy, she's in 17 school. What am I going to do? I know the teachers. Like, I don't want to go to 24. God, for PS 24, I met some wonderful friends there. I met my best friend there. I met two of my best friends there. I met the twins there, Charlotte and Charlene. So sometimes we got to step out of that comfort zone into an area of that unfamiliarity and trust God is not going to lead you in the wrong direction. He's leading you. Everything happens for a reason. My life would not be the way that it is today if I had not went to 24 school. I promise you that. Because I would have met some different people. I might have taken a different path in life. Anything could have happened. I'm not going to go on and on about that. But I'm just saying that sometimes we fear the unknown because it's what we don't know. And when we don't know what we're getting ourselves into. But you have to have a level of faith that God is going to lead you in the right direction. Nothing grows in a comfort zone, I promise you. Some of us, like I said, are missing out on blessings because we're afraid to move out of that area of comfort. I talked about this on Instagram. We can liken our comfort zone to that of comfort food. I talked about this, the mac and cheese, potato salad, fried chicken, and whatever else we eat that we feel that comforts the soul, that's soul food. But we know after a while what happens if we're eating soul food every single Sunday and sometimes twice in a week. We develop these different diseases, diabetes, hypertension, cholesterol. Nothing happens great in a comfort zone. It keeps us what? My favorite word, my favorite phrase, stuck and stagnant. And you cannot grow if you're stuck and stagnant. We're supposed to be living life every day, growing, living, evolving, meeting new people, meeting different people. We have to meet different people of different races and ethnicities and backgrounds. It what makes the world special and different. We got to step out of our neighborhood, some of us. Some people ain't never leave New Jersey. Now, some people may say, well, that could be because of economic reasons. Well, yeah, because of the mindset. The mindset, if you don't change the mindset, nothing is going to change for you. It starts in the mind. This is why premeditated murder. I'm kind of going on premeditated murder. That's why the sentence is much greater, because you had a chance to change your mind. You had a chance to think this murder out. You sat there and you calculated and you figured it out, and how I'm going to do this and how I'm going to do this. But rather than change your mind, say, no, I'm not going to do this. This is why. The mind is so powerful, you all. It's so powerful. It's powerful. So this is why we have to learn to change our mindset, renew our mind so that our life can begin to change. And even people who renew their minds, you have to put in the work. Like I said, there's people speaking positive affirmations all day, every day. All day, every day. Walking down the street, speaking positive affirmations. But if you're not putting in the work, what's the point? You got to put in the work. That is it for now, you all. I hope that I can be a blessing. I hope I was a blessing to someone. I hope that the up and coming week is a blessing to you all. Stay safe. Keep God first. Know that God is everything in my life and more. I could not do this without him. I would not have the words to speak to you if he was not behind my message, right? I have to make that clear. God gives me these things. I said last week, I didn't have anything to speak about. I wanted to speak about, you know what? I'll save that for another day. I just thought about something I was going to talk about. I kind of do want to talk about it real quick. I got like 4 more minutes. So I was talking about the time when I was living in my comfort zone, and I had a friend who came along and spoke life into and nurtured and watered that seed. And I talked about, everybody don't have that ability to come and speak to me and make me want to get up and do some things. You got to have a special anointing and power on the inside to make me move, because I already have some power on the inside. It's the same thing with teachers. I talked about how we're supposed to make our children feel comfortable, right? Teachers, leaders, parents, grandparents, neighbors, we all should be making our children feel safe and comfortable. So this is why you have some teachers. You have teacher A and teacher B. Teacher A, teacher B went to the same institution, got taught by the same professor, got the same grade point average, got the same degrees. They went to the same school to teach the same subject to the same students. Teacher A will go in there and teach that lesson. That class A, students A will grasp that lesson, put it to work, and will pass with flying colors. Then you have teacher B that comes in, remember, same degrees, same institution, same professors. They have the same thing. I'm just, giving examples. I'm just trying to drive a point home. And teacher B will teach students B or students A the same message. I shouldn't even say student B, because we all have different minds. Teacher B will come in and teach students A the same message, the same lesson that teacher A taught, and they will struggle with it. Because there's a different anointing. There's a different power in each one of us. So this is why I tell you, stay on your path, stay on your journey, so that you can continue to help others get to where they need to be in life. You can't make them, but you can speak into their life, into the lives of others, to make them want to say, let me see what this girl talking about. Let me see what this guy is talking about. Let me give this a try. So that is it for now, you all. I don't know when my next message is going to be, because it's up to God. I never want to come on here speaking from my point of view. It has to be what God gives me. Again, enjoy the rest of your Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday. I am editing today, and I am also going to a Super Bowl party, so I got to go. Enjoy the rest of your day.